Will COVID derail the real estate market? Hey, all, Mark Rasmussen, Dwell Real Estate here in Sarasota, Florida. I'll talk fast because I know everyone has a short attention span these days. The quick answer is I don't know. No one knows. No one knows for sure. It's just speculation on our part, on anyone's part. Some people will say prices are going to go up, down, sideways. They might have an agenda, so be careful. There's a lot of variables, and we can make educated guesses based on maybe today's stats, but things can change rather quickly in any market, for that matter. Prices are largely determined by supply and demand, and we track those. The realtor associations that we belong to do a great job in distributing that data as well. If you see, obviously, just goes back to Economics 101. If there's a bunch of properties for sale and no buyers, prices are obviously going to drop. So I remember back in 2005, our supply, the number of properties for sale, quadrupled that year. And obviously we went through the crash. That was when the bubble was starting to burst. Market stats, for Sarasota Manatee County, if you take the first 9 days in June, we compare it to the same time period last year, inventories have dropped 16%. We have about 10% fewer closings, and we have 9% fewer pending properties. The pending properties and the closings, that's our demand, and then the number of properties for sale would be our supply. So if we compare this month to last month, we have about 16% fewer properties for sale, 5% fewer sold properties, and then our pending properties actually jumped 40%. So that's awesome news. We're going to see a lot of sales. Our sales numbers are going to be really good for the next 2 to 3 months as these pending properties start to close. Finally, the average sold price of properties from this year to last year is actually 5% higher. So prices that have increased 5% for the same time period when you compare to last year. The future, again, this is just speculation. We have educated guesses, and mine is we might see some downward pressure on price depending on what happens with the job market. If a bunch of people are out of work and they have to default on their mortgages and we get short sales, we get a bunch of distressed properties, that's going to affect our obviously the real estate prices. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully everyone gets back to work. And that won't happen for a while because, if someone misses a payment, it's going to take a number of payments before the bank takes legal action, and then that legal action is going to take a number of months too. So it'll be a while before any of that happens. I don't know, a year or more. So if you're a buyer, and today I would focus more on finding the right property than trying to time the market. As it stands right now, based on our numbers, that's the advice I'd give a buyer. For a seller, prices have gone up compared to last year. So if anyone's telling you that prices have gone down, that may be true depending on your neighborhood, your condo building, your zip code, whatever. Broad measure of the market, prices have gone up, which is not the best measure. The best measure really is on a local level. So if you need any more information, feel free to reach out to us. Mark Rasmussen, Dwell Real Estate.